Hi guys, so in this episode I'm going to start working on the cheetah enclosure, which is this part here. Now that I've finished the stuff, the zebras on that side and the Blesbok enclosure there, I can move out from there. So yeah, this is going to be my next project. This is actually one of the most themed bits of the zoo actually. In this bit in the middle here you've got a sort of African hut viewing area, a little crashed jeep, some planting, a lot of rocks and things like that. Got some water in the enclosures as well, and then there's a big off-show area behind, so I'll probably focus on that bit after, and I'll mainly go for the first bit at the front, and try and get that all done. Terrain wise, not too bad, hopefully. There's a little bit of a slope that goes down, I think, but it's not that noticeable. It's more noticeable on the road itself. So yeah, I think they should be fairly flat. Fencing, might be able to get away with some of the in-game stuff, but probably some of the standoff areas I'll do custom fencing, I think. The building is just a rough guide at the minute for the size, so that actually properly needs to be made and detailed and everything as well. So it's going to be a fair amount of work. So I won't bother time-lapsing it or anything. I'll just come back in when it's finished or partly finished if there's anything to say about it as I go through. I'll put up a couple of pictures from Google Maps and Street View to just show what the actual enclosure should look like. So everything's laid out already, as I said in previous videos. So yeah, this is the aerial view, and then yeah, down here I'll pop a couple of Street View images in, and then yeah, I'll get started. Okay, so we're pretty much done. There's a few little tweaky bits that might need to be changed, little bits and bobs that I might try out, but in general, pretty much done. It's taken quite a while. Like I said, it's probably one of the most themed parts of the zoo, so it's taken a while to try and get it looking right, and a bit of a pain when it comes to trying to make things look accurate. I'm a bit picky, but I'm trying to let certain things go, so yeah, I'm quite happy with how it's turned out. The main issue I'm going to have with a lot of these builds, this one in particular because it's a lot of narrow paths and things, is actually trying to get the pathing to work. I'm not really sure whether I will try and make it all work or not. I might have sort of certain main roads and things like that work, but other paths and things potentially not. I'm still debating on what to do with that, but yeah, we'll take a look now more in detail at the exhibit itself. So if you're coming from this side, so we've got a little viewing bit there, which I already had done, a little plant in the middle. Then the enclosure itself is multiple enclosures, so we've got one on this side and then one on this side, viewing bit that goes through the middle, so you can kind of see both sides. We've got a pond area on both sides, which acts as a kind of a moat. There is electric fences and other little bits, there's overhangs on these fences, things like that obviously it's a bit trickier to put in, so I've left them out for now. If anything changes within Planet Zoo, if there's any updates or anything that might allow me to put that sort of thing in, then I will try and do that, but for now I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. So yeah, a moat pond type thing in this side, and then the same on this side. So it just offers a bit of sort of uninterrupted views. views, not through fences. Quite a high fence around the whole thing. Obviously most big cats have quite high fences. Well, most cats in general will have high fences. Obviously good climbers, and there will be overhangs and electric things like that. A lot of reeds and things surrounding the pond, and it's also lined with rocks. It's a little bit uniform for me, but I found this was the easiest way to do it, so I might try and change things up a little bit there, to make it look a little bit less repetitive. But in general, it's I think it conveys the right feel for it. Reeds and things along the edges, a few trees and bits inside, but not loads, and a few logs and things that are on their sides. We've also got in here a small rock shelter. I haven't actually got any animals in here at the minute because, as I said with the pathing, I've not actually been able to hook it up and make it a proper habitat, so there's no gates or anything like that. So once I've got some of the other areas sorted out, I'll probably make habitat gates at the back or at the sides, things like that, rather than trying to put them at the front and confuse things. Then I'll go through the other side, and then we'll have a look at the middle. So the other side, similar sort of thing, moat with some reeds and things, again stones on the outside, rock shelter, a few logs and trees, fairly straightforward. Then on the inside here, so this is the main viewing entranceway. So yeah, we've got a few different viewing opportunities. So we've got a couple of glass panels, shorter fence obviously to see across there, and likewise on the other side. There is a little cheetah statue there, but it's quite small, and obviously we don't have very small statue type items in the game, so I've just sunk one of these art pieces into the ground, the sort of art deco type things. There's also a Cheetah Rock sign to the entrance of the viewing area, so I might fiddle about and try and make that work, but I think it's going to be too small again to try and make anything like that work. Here's the actual main viewing area. So it's all sort of at an angle, which made it a bit more awkward, but I've figured it out eventually. So inside here, glass viewing panels to look through into this enclosure on this side. Quite a nice view through there. There's some posters and some information which I may add at some point on the inside here. But yeah, in general, the roof's been a bit of a nightmare. I had to use this thatch piece and just repeat it over and over again to try and get the shape right, because I'm building to scale. A lot of the bits don't really fit, so they're kind of on the grid pattern, they're way too big for roofs to meet in the middle, things like that. So I've just done that, and it seems to work fairly well. It gives the same impression and the right shape. And then that comes out to this side. Again, just more of the same. We've got a little truck with some information on the sides of that. There used to be, I can't remember if there still is, but a sort of speed test thing where you can run against the cheetah and try and see how fast you can go, but I can't remember if that's still there anymore. We've got a few bits of planting on the standoff area. So big thing obviously for a lot of animals, most animals in zoos, they will have a standoff barrier, so it won't just be public path, animal fence, it will be public path, public fence, a gap, and then the animal fence. A bit of planting in there, some stuff on some of the fences, some vines and things like that on the fences, just sort of breaks it up a little bit. And then as we go down this way, just a lot of planting. There's a big sort of willow screening area that goes down there. The terrain was a bit awkward. Like I said, it does slope down, so it was a bit tricky trying to get that to work, but I think I've kind of got it. You can kind of see that it does slope up a little bit. It's just trying to make everything work together piece by piece, so that I don't end up thinking this is right and then I go to do this bit and actually it's way off. So yeah, it's quite confusing. I use my little grid piece again that I showed in the first video to check terrain and things. So yeah, that is pretty much it. This is the entrance to the paddock. There's a sort of airlock area there where you can go and lock the gate behind you and go in to the paddock itself. So yeah, that is Cheetah Rock enclosure. Yeah, like I say, happy with it. I think it's turned out quite nice. At the back here, loads of trees and things. The off-show area, which I will do another time. And then down here is all the hippo area. So I'll probably do this sort of area in one go. Depends how long. This might take me a long time because it's going to be a bit fiddly with pools for the hippos and terrain. There's a lot of slopes, things like that. This area here is quite tricky as well for terrain. So yeah, we'll see when we get to that bit. This bit here is fairly simple, really. A lot of sort of same looking enclosures repeated as off-show areas, some houses and yards and things, and a lot of planting, big hill and things like that. So yeah, that is the cheetah enclosure, all finished pretty much. I've done a little bit of the zebra crossing, stairs that go up there. Again, scale-wise makes things a little bit more tricky, but I think we can get it looking fairly accurate. So yeah, in the next video I'll probably start carrying on down this way, so I might do the backstage cheetah area, or possibly the hippos, maybe a bit both. And then we've got this sort of eating area, Africa outpost, and some toilets and things there. And then once this sort of bit is done, then we can start finishing off the rest of this area here. Yeah, this bit here is going to be a bit tricky because of a lot of trees and things, getting aerial views off Google Maps, but I think we should be okay. So yeah, I'll post a few cinematic shots. I might just put some cheetahs in there, fiddle with the fencing just to get some nice shots in there. So yeah, that is it for Cheetah Rock. I'll see you in the next one.